At that time, computers were just, machines that did word processing and spreadsheets, and nobody had really tried to make a connection between a computer and emotions, people's emotions. And that's what we wanted to do, was highlight the fact that we believed that you could become emotionally attached to a computer and to software. Okay, so teamwork is another value. Well, as I think had been mentioned some time before, up until it became about this big and totally impossible, we had every employee interviewed every candidate for a position, for every position. So it took weeks for people to get through the interview process. As you can see, oh crap, it's a huge number of people, and so it would take you weeks to get a job offer there. It finally got too big for that, but boy, at the beginning, it really made a difference, because when someone spent weeks talking to this whole crowd of people individually, day after day after day, and then they got a job offer, they felt like, my God, I must be the smartest, best person in the world. I made it through all these interviews. And the people who were doing the interviewing, the employees, felt like, I'm making a difference in helping to find who we bring in and who joins our company. I have an impact on how the culture is being created, who we're going to be working with. And so it was a win-win for everybody, and it really helped build the electronic arts culture. We also had, and this has been talked about in other instances today and this week, and that was, we had weekly meetings every week. This was in 1982, we started this, where the executives in the company, there were five of us, we'd have to stand in front of a company meeting every week and answer questions from any question that anybody asked, and update what our part of the company was doing. I was in charge of international business. I had to give a report every week about what had been accomplished in the international business development side of things. So, and as we grew, we continued it. It was always kind of an end of the week, relax, but also learn and keep up with what's going on in the company. Every large company has a meeting where the employees can interact personally with the executives. Even though it's not a terrifically personal interaction, it is a communication openness that is characteristic and I think important. So we also have the Silicon Valley value of fearlessness.
In order for us to do what we are trying to do, we have to be obsessed, and we have to be a little bit arrogant, and we have to be a little bit cocky about having a sense of possibilities that are open to us that aren't open to others because of our convictions. And if we didn't feel that way, if we didn't even have a little bit of a sense of not knowing what we don't know, and if we were too conscious of the pitfalls, if we were too conscious of the obstacles, we might lose our conviction. And we really do have the sense of really being obsessed with it and really believing that we know how to do it better than everybody else. And that may seem arrogant, but if we didn't feel that way, we wouldn't be able to pull it off. And it's because we feel that way that we're going to.
Okay, think again. That was 36 years ago. And it's the same attitude I hear all the time from startup founders, members of startup founding teams. They feel like, they believe, first of all, they know that they don't know everything, and they fear if they did know everything that was going to happen, they wouldn't do it. So they have to kind of suspend their disbelief, and they have to believe in themselves. That's what we all felt like back then, and I think that's, I hear students, or not students, but entrepreneurs express those same attitudes these days too. We will meet these responsibilities with programming designed for the greatest possible good. That was something that we all believed. We had the opportunity years after this to buy, I never remember the name of the company, but it's a company that makes Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, Rockstar, right. So we could have bought them, and it would have added $1 billion at least, back then even, to our annual revenues. But Larry Probst, who we hired in our second year as our VP of sales, by then he was CEO of the company. He walked away from that deal just because he said, Grand Theft Auto doesn't fit into the product catalog that we want to represent Electronic Arts. And that was making a decision that, stockholders, I suspect, were horrified by that because it didn't add $1 billion to the revenue line, but it kept the faith of what we were wanting to do as a company. And that's important. That's being true to yourself, I think.